Galley on the drum.
Well, this is Friends with Good Intentions. This is episode 3. And so, my name is Michael.
My name is Mo.
I'm Courtney.
Okay, very nice. Well, obviously I've met you. I haven't met your lovely wife.
Absolutely.
I'm switching headphone inputs because I can't hear it on this one. So I'm going to switch to this one. There we go.
Right.
And so today, I was wondering if we could discuss...
Here we go.
Yeah.
Let's keep in mind to the
the
listeners,
topic.
we do not know what the topic is, so we clearly walked into this blindly.
Absolutely.
So, but here we go.
Do men suffer in silence? I figure we start with one that might be serious, and then we'll lighten up a little bit.
All right, cool. So that's the initial question. Do
Yes,
men-
sir.
I'm sure they do. I mean, I've had conversations in private with friends, associates, some cases strangers, and they've definitely disclosed some. I'm like, that happened. So yeah, I'm sure that a lot do.
I think it's an unfortunate thing to have to say that yes, they do.
Okay.
But I feel like now we're coming to a time to where they're realizing that it's okay to actually open up. You don't have to suffer in silence. And I think what we're trying to find now is that you can have you have to build a community around you.
Okay.
I think community is important. What happened was we lost community, so men fell off because the men community was each other, themselves. They would go out and work together and do things together, and that was their community. That was their way to express. But then when we lost that, I feel like it was like, hey, they lost themselves, and it's like, So I think we're coming back to that.
And with that, I think also we're in a space now where they're trying to find a medium to be vulnerable, to express these inner thoughts and feelings, but not lose or risk their masculinity. And those spaces that we used to have that she alluded to was the barbershop.
Okay.
So now when you look at the barbershop, some are still traditional, but when you look at it, there's a lot of cases where a single mom will bring in her son to get a haircut, and she might be sitting there with him. So now the conversation that was kind of reserved, locker room talk for the guys that some may consider as toxic, but it was a place for us to release. You know what I'm saying? So now
If
that
I
right...
can say something too, I'm going to cut you off there because I want to say this.
Hey, Skillet is going to love this right here because he's like a mad scientist at this point. And I swear I feel like Sly has something to do with this. I swear I do.
Not only with
Sly
the
give you a
barbershop,
hard
because I
time.
agree with that, but then when you look at when I think about community, I can always remember growing up when we call this thing under the tree. And that's where the men would gather. And that was kind of like, their barbershop. That was, and I feel like when we cut off, if you look at it, there's not a lot of community now because a lot of people kind of went out from the communities to go to the cities or to move, whatever. Everybody's in a hustle and bustle. So when I say they kind of miss that with the community, that's a part of it too, which I think the barbershops have a big say so too. But then we got to understand a lot of the younger generation is going to the barbershop. A lot of older guys, they ain't want to mix and mingle a little bit, with.
There's a disconnect from the older generation, the younger, but then you have, I think I fall in that sweet spot of not quite being the older generation and definitely not the younger generation. So my era is the bridge, but it's such a struggle to get the two to even see each other and wave, let alone get them in the room to have a conversation.
Well, let me ask you this. Define what you mean by community and then tell me what you mean by bridge.
Ladies first.
All right, so for me, with community, I had the pleasure of growing up in a neighborhood, in a community to where we're like real down south. We're like, it's Plantersville community is what it is, but everybody knew everybody. So it's like you did something, this person's going to know, your mom already knows, she can go to work. Like we could have left our doors unlocked if we wanted to, you know, everybody looked out for everybody. And we had gardens, I had like that country living, but that we can walk down the road and not worry about anything. But then it was like everybody looked out for everybody. It was a different type of love. It was like, you know, I didn't have to say, hey, don't talk to my kid, don't do this right here. My parents wasn't like that. It's like, no, if this person caught you, you're going to respect this person. You're going to get in trouble this way, and that way. And I feel like we kind of leveled out from that just with with time changes, just the changes in time. But I also feel like we're actually coming back to that too. You know, because a lot of people are kind of understanding that, hey, this is really not that bad. There's still people who I feel like, even like with myself, I grew up in it, I saw it, now I'm able to put it in my kids. But not only just my kids, everybody else that I touch, I'm able to kind of drop these gems in them like, listen, we're not that far removed from this, and this is how it can be. And if we incorporate it this way, you know, we can kind of make this thing mesh. Okay. So I think that, you know, that's what I look at as, you know, that's what community meant to me. That's what I grew up on. So that's what I know for community to be.
Okay. What would you define as the bridge?
Well, a bridge is a bridge actually connects two bodies of land, right? Right. That's the connector. So again, I'm old enough to know better, but I'm still young enough to not really
give a fuck.
Right. Word to fact. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at that right there, that's a happy medium right there. Mm-hmm. You know, some of the cats, they call you Unc and OG and all that, but they look at me and be like, you know what? He got waves. I still got waves. Yo, he wear Jordans. I wear Jordans. And now when you get into the generation older than me, they might have on those dad New Balances. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't lacing those up.
And the full Nike tracksuit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean by the bridge, to the point where they're going to approach someone in my age bracket with a little more respect. Okay. They might still be hesitant, but nonetheless, they will approach if you actually leave that door open, to the point where it's kind of a judgment-free thing. Okay. So, and typically that olive branch is music. Yeah. Once you actually get into that music, so you listen to so-and-so? Yeah. Oh, all right. And the next thing you know, 2 days later, you heard that new whatever. Now you got their attention. Right. So at that point, you just gotta nurture that conversation to the point where you can build up that trust. Okay. And then you could take that information to your big guy and be like, yo, check this out. Let's see if we can do this right here and that to make it better.
Yeah. I like that. Okay. So with those, the avenue you spoke of and the avenue you spoke of, how do we use those to, for one, how do we use that to help men that do suffer in silence? And I guess, why do we suffer in silence?
Communication. Communication is the foundation to anything. Nothing cannot not be solved without a conversation. If you can have a conversation, if you can put aside the ego, whatever kept y'all apart from having a conversation, now we can open doors. We don't have to actually like each other, but we can respect each other and understand that's why you feel the way that you feel. Right. That's why I feel the way that I feel. Fair enough. So at that point right there, I believe conversation. And then why men suffer in silence, it could be the upbringing. There's so many different variables. Right. So many different variables, but upbringing, and even when you look at upbringing, typically our parents did the best that they could with what they had at the time. So
that's all they know.
That's all they know. But with that, I do feel that the parents have the responsibility of, once they learn different, regardless how old the child is, you got to come back. Like, all right, check this out, son. I won't say I was wrong about it, but I didn't have enough information about this. And this may be why you're feeling this way. But from my experiences and from my new information that I received, let's try it this way.
I would say, too, a lot of the times the parents, I like what you said, but, you know, one thing that I'm actually coming to see is, like, a lot of the kids are going back to the parents to show them something different that they have discovered or figured out. Like, hey, mom, you know, or dad, you told me this, and now I'm experiencing life this way and this new change, because the only thing that's constant is the change. Right. So I'm experiencing life this way. So now I'm able to show you something that you may have told me this, but look, now it's applied different now. You know, but one thing to piggyback off of what he said is, I think what we have to understand, I have these 3 C's that I say, but so I'm smiling the whole time, is conversation, communication, and continuation.
That's fly.
So
okay.
We can sit, if I can get you to sit here and communicate with me, then we can hold a conversation, but we can't leave off on this conversation. We got to continue. I think that's the suffering happens. No one wants to continue the conversation. You know what I'm saying? So in continuing, I can meet you and say, hey, you're a cool guy. We have a dope conversation, but then I don't check up on my brother and say, hey, are you doing okay? This right here, or even if I can feel something, we miss the little things of, we may have a nudge. And I always tell them, I feel something that I have to call this person. So when you get these little nudges, that's that continuation. And I feel like a lot of men suffer in silence because they don't have these continuing conversations. They meet dope people. You link up with a lot of people, but we don't want to have this conversation on a continuous basis, or even just reach out. And honestly, when men begin to accept everybody for where they're at, understand that wherever you're at in life, you gotta be you, be okay with that, and sit in that. And then you're gonna meet somebody else who may be at a little higher point than where you was, or where you're about to go, or however looks on the spectrum. You got, and then you take from that person as you move and you learn. Then you're gonna go get your brother who that going through the same thing similar that you just came out of. So that's that continuation. I feel like they suffer because they don't continue up with that. That's just that's how I look at it.
Well, let me ask you this then. Would you say that men talking to, kind of like what Mo said about being in the barbershop talking and conversing? Oh, go this way. You gotta do like a little snake. My bad. So come this way. But yeah,
What are you doing?
So when men are having, I do get what you're saying as far as, because that's dope to continue the conversation and not just, like you said, initially say, hey, I'm going through such and such, and then never check up on them again.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But would you say when men are having those frequent conversations in the shop, would you say that would be one form of continuing that conversation, or would you feel like that's kind of a one-shot thing?
I won't say a one-shot. It's a conversation starter. It's a good start. It's definitely a great start. But we can't undermine the whole thing of, we can't expect people to open up in a barbershop. In a setting, a lot of egos are in the barbershop.
You ain't lying to get to talking shit and cracking jokes.
So then it kind of puts some people on the edge. It's like, I don't want to say nothing. Where do I insert myself? But then, we have to, if you understand who you are, say if Mo's in a situation to where he's in a barbershop, he see this young guy, he understands that this person wants something to say, but they're uncomfortable. You see something in him because Mo knows who he is. Yeah. He feels this. When you understand who you are, you understand what your purpose is and how you're supposed to touch everybody who's going to come in contact with you. Right. So when you understand that so deeply, I think that's when the continuation comes. You looking at this brother, he said something, but everybody else in the barbershop done it. And then this dude shut down.
That's not what we do in the barbershop. That's not what we do in the barbershop.
I'm rolling with it.
I've been there hearing some stuff. It's like you can't get a word in. If you ain't on the side that they agree with, let me tell you something. You be like, I'm like, listen, this is ridiculous.
That's fair, but like what Mo said, what? Because he's grown, he knows who he is. Sly know who he is. I know who I am. So when we're at our age, we know, okay, nigga, I ain't trying to hit it. Like, right. We ain't got to disrespect each other, but we know this is my stance, this is your stance, even if we disagree.
Yeah.
Correct.
But then when we at our age, and not that we super old, but is it also our responsibility as grown ass men to say, oh, I see they going in on this young boy. Do I need to pull him to the side? Do I need to stand up for him? You know what I mean?
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely. And let me say as well, how you continue that conversation for someone that may not be as confident to speak up in the midst of a loud room. I think social media made that easier.
What you mean?
As far as you can find out what my name is and look me up on social media and inbox me. Hey, yo, I saw you in the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to ask you a question. Mm-hmm. That made it easier. Mm-hmm. It made the world a lot smaller.
You ain't lying.
Because you don't have to talk up if you don't feel like you're comfortable in that public setting to speak. All right, cool, no problem. I'm going to get your name from somebody. The barber obviously knows your name.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm going to find you on social media and I'm going to inbox you. That makes that initial introduction a lot easier.
Yeah.
But what was your question again?
Is it our responsibility as not elder statesmen, as like we 50, but right. we're not 19
absolutely.
Either. Do we say
absolutely?
Do we stand up for that young dude?
Absolutely. And I encourage my kids to do the same. If you see someone getting bullied or whatever, if it's in your heart, stand up for them. But also understand, if you stand up for them, whatever they're facing, is now yours. So you gotta
Yeah.
be okay with whatever comes. But if you don't feel right about someone getting handled a certain kind of way, it's like a joke. A joke is only funny if both parties are laughing.
Yeah.
If one is just laughing, now
You
we're
clowning,
looking at,
you joning.
right.
Yeah.
So if you feel the need, son, you got your parents' back.
Okay.
I mean, excuse me, your parents have your back. I'm sorry. Go do your thing. But I definitely feel we have that responsibility.
And
definitely.
I think it's internal. I tell them all the time. It's like how you feel. If you're feeling something in your heart of heart and they tell you have to do this, you got to act on that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. Like, you got to have that knowing. And when you have that knowing, you know, like, hey, listen, this is not right. So maybe your knowing takes you to a place of reacting. Mm-hmm. So for me, if I know this is not right, I may not know, like, listen, I may not come off like, hey, y'all are this. I may hit you with a joke. I may hit you with something that's going to shift this whole conversation.
Like a filler or like a temperature check?
I'm gonna shift the whole atmosphere. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's that whole thing of knowing you to knowing that you can shift from. I tell them, you got to be careful of the things that you say because you understand that your words are powerful, that you can move. So me knowing me, if I see something, I already know how to maneuver. I'm not going to let you beat up on somebody or something. I may not be stronger than you, but mentally, I'm mentally stronger because I'm assessing this room. I'm figuring out I'm not going to let you do this. So now I trust myself so much that I'm going to do it in a way that does not even undermine you, that does not even make you feel no type of way. But I'm going to make sure everybody in this room is good.
Okay. So do women suffer in silence? Because I feel, no disrespect to women, I do feel like y'all get how y'all feel out a lot more often than men do. Because really? I could be wrong. I'm not a woman. But it seems from my perspective, again, I'm not a woman, but it seems like men, when we vent, it's more like we talking shit to each other. We clown and we laugh. And it seems as though women get the opportunity to kind of get it all out, whether it's to your spouse, to your girlfriends, because kind of like what you said earlier, men will vent, but then we try to teeter that fine line of being punks or weak or soft. Yeah.
We mask it.
Even though we might need somebody to holler at. You know what I mean? We might be, I don't know what, human beings go through all kinds of shit.
Absolutely.
But it seems as though women get more opportunity to talk about what's on their heart versus what's on a man's heart. Would that be a good?
You know, I want to be very, I want to be very careful when I answer this because.
Just generally, not.
Yeah. When you look at it, I can't agree with that. I think women suffer in silence as well. And I say that because you got to understand, as a woman, there's a lot of things to where everybody's looking for that. We're the strong ones. We're that, you know what I'm saying? And we hold, and as much as you may think, I'm getting it out to my girlfriend, it depends on what type of girlfriends that you have. A lot of women have girlfriends that are friend girls who not actually in direct.
They're not really your friend?
Well, I would say not on the same frequency. Not even on the same frequency.
They don't want the same things for you, but this woman probably may not even pick up on it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not a woman, so I don't know.
As in, it's like you could be around men too. You could be around a group of people, and these people you think they're for you, and they really not. So I feel like with women and with men, a lot of times with women, it's this jealousy thing. It's like, and then you would think like, hey, I can able to talk to my sister and say this, but then not really. There's usually, if you look in a group of women, right? Mm-hmm. There's usually one woman in that group that's getting everything that everybody's pondering on her. But then there's that one strong one who they consider the strong one. She can really be suffering in silence.
But because she got the label of I'm strong,
she's the motherly figure.
She's on all that.
See, I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong, Mo.
Absolutely.
But at least with dudes, I don't really hang out with people I don't fuck with. You know what I mean?
But you know what? But even with that, you have different set of friends for different occasions.
Yeah,
like you might have a workout friend. Like, yo, I just go to the gym with homie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I might have the one that go to the club with me that I know if something pop off, homie gonna,
we gonna rock out. Yeah,
he gonna lay something. So I think that's what you were alluding to as far as you have different sets of friends that you can actually confine in. Something that I just recently learned at 42. You know how you may have a friend or associate or someone that you're in close proximity with along, and I guess within conversation, right?
Right.
They may do something that you don't like.
Right.
Or that you're like, yo, that's funny style.
Mm-hmm.
Most cases they would tell you to kind of just, get that individual out of your circle. But the fact of the matter is, it's almost like a house. I like everything else about this individual, but this right here, it's not a 2-car garage. It's just a 1-car. Do we get rid of the house?
Now we park one in the front.
So I had to learn to not throw away the whole relationship off of this one characteristic that I don't rock with.
Right.
And I just really learned that probably within the last 2 months. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of, because everything else is cool.
Yeah.
You just got to know how to actually maneuver. I know what to bring to that individual's front door.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn that myself.
Well, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Can I say one thing? Because with the women thing too, and I would have said, because the thing is with men, when you say that, that's a great thing. You say like, hey, I just don't hang with them.
Yeah.
In a lot of relationships, I always say friendship, workship, and whatever. Like y'all could have grew up together, but women, we tend to have more relationships than men.
Yeah.
Because you know, we go to work with some woman, and I'm in the same area with this lady. We start getting on sync.
Yeah, dudes be like,
sync.
I speak and I keep it moving. Yeah.
Not women.
Yeah,
there's so many, what y'all don't understand, there's so many internally we become in sync too.
You're right.
You know, it's like, yo, this person on this time, this person on, and you be like, God dang. So, you know, so when you look at it as far as when I say, yeah, we hold it in because amongst that group, you don't know. We're a little more, we come together
a lot more emotions in that circle.
Yeah,
there's a lot more emotions.
You know, we kind of pick it up a little more than just on the men's side where y'all could just, because I ask them sometimes like, yo, you ain't gonna say hello to this person or
No,
this
that's not what men
text
do.
this person.
No, that's not what men
keep
do.
on doing what
We don't ask nobody names.
Nah.
I wait till I hear someone else say, I'm like, oh, word, that's his name,
that's
Sly?
crazy.
All right, cool. So next time I see him, Sly, what's going on?
That's
you know
crazy.
what I'm saying? Like, that's how,
Because for me, I'm all emotional. I'm a Cancer.
Nah.
And I'm one of those people to where I wear it on I'm like, oh, you know, we're best friends. Yes, I love you. You know, but I treat people the way that in my heart of heart, I operate out of that love space 24/7. A lot of times that does not work for me. Right. And I get that, but that's just who I am. So that's the thing I don't understand the difference, you know, but there are a lot of women, to answer that question, that do suffer in silence. And I don't feel like it's just the man thing. I think it's dual.
And I believe that works for you. Just all depends on what room you're in.
Yeah.
I believe it works for you.
What works for you?
As far as how she is, as far as the Cancer, as far as whatever. It just depends on what room you're in. It works. Some rooms is just totally off. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like wearing sneakers to a bow tie event. There's still shoes. You know what I'm saying?
They're not the right shoes.
Not for this event.
Not even like that, because I'm learning to understand. I had to understand when I get to know me and I'm okay with me, I'm comfortable with me. Guess what? It don't bother me now. I know what I'm operating. I know my intentions. I don't.
But that takes time, though.
It does.
A lot of time by yourself.
Comfortable, yes.
A lot of time by yourself.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's work on you.
And a lot of people are scared to sit in a room by themselves.
And that's why they suffer in silence.
Anymore. Anymore is the key word, though.
Yeah.
That's why they suffer in silence.
A lot of people.
Let's run it back. A lot of people don't like to sit and look themselves in that mirror and face it, because about 90% of the times, I want to say more, but we're going to go with 90. 90% of the time, it's you.
Yeah.
You're
the cause of suffering in silence?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You're afraid to face you.
Absolutely.
It's you.
And
it's
absolutely.
nobody else. I had to learn that. As a woman, I had to imagine that. Because I wanted to put the blame, even as a wife. I wanted to be like, listen, nah. But nah. Because the only person you can control is you. He can't control. He couldn't say, hey, come here and do this or sit.
Right.
It's only me. I control. He can't move my mouth for me to talk.
You ever heard that saying, happy wife, happy life?
Yeah.
That is so BS.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the fact of the matter. And then you ever heard that terminology, it's your job to make, it's not my job to make you happy. It's my job to make me happy. It's your job to make you happy. And we find that medium together.
Yeah.
When we actually put the responsibility on someone else, you're going to fall shy.
Well, a lot of feelings start with the word self, but we put it on other people.
Mm-hmm.
Like self-confidence is self-confidence.
Right.
But unfortunately,
selfish.
Yes.
No, I got to put myself first right now. If I'm going to give you anything, I got to make sure I'm real right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, yes.
Okay, I can roll with it. So do you think the suffering that women and men experience is different because they're different genders? Or you think it's the same suffering?
No, it's different because we process things totally different. We process it totally different.
I think it's just dependent on the individual.
Slide got to get this. Slide has his hand over his mouth like.
Because I think it depends on the individual. I don't think it's like, it's just what you're going through. Whatever you're going through at that moment, that's what you're suffering with. I don't think we can put like a gender on suffering. That's just my opinion. I feel like there's different circumstances and things in life. And of course, environment has a lot to do with it. So someone suffering,
Fair.
It depends upon so many things. Your environment, it depends.
And I believe gender is one of them.
I mean, if we want to throw it in the bag, we can throw it in the bag. But
I believe it's a variable.
I think it's a collective of who, like. I think it's like your environment, whatever you're faced.
So let's use an example right here. Something popped off, right? She wants to know from point A, B, C. Is there a D?
I don't want to know what caused it.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even want to know what caused it because we're here already.
Yeah,
we're here.
Yeah.
So I don't care how we got here.
Yeah.
We're here. So now moving forward, what do we got to do to move forward?
That's why I want to know the cause so it doesn't happen again.
But then that shows gender doesn't have a play in it because two males, you got two different things.
It's a variable.
Two different things of what you know.
I'm a weirdo though.
You know,
I'm a weirdo, so it might not be me.
I believe it's definitely a variable, though. But circumstances, I believe outweighs that. But I definitely feel it's a variable.
Whatever it is that you're
Slide,
going
what do you guys say, Slide? Slide like.
So I feel like it all
You gotta jump on one of the mics so we can hear you.
I feel like it all plays a part, right? So kind of like what you said, it's a variable, but it's not the main variable. Gender is only a variable because people make it a variable. Like human species is the only one that consider women weak. Like you don't consider a woman lion weak. You're not scared of a woman lion. No. We're the only ones that look at women as something less than us.
Oh, and let me say this because this was beautiful. Let me tell you one thing.
They do the hunt right.
They do the hunt.
The women are the strongest species.
But let's go.
The male lion sleeps about 23 hours. 22 and a half. 23 hours a day.
Yeah, women, lionesses do all the other stuff.
Yeah,
everything.
No different than a dove.
But listen though, the women. I want to put this out to say because I told him I was. I don't know. I think I was in the shower. I was like, listen.
That's my meditation.
I love that. So one thing that I realized one day was like, out of so many ways to leave this earth, we have one way to come in. Through what?
Birth.
No, I was.
But then what?
Else, but
who gives birth?
Women. But women are incubators.
Right.
Respectfully.
Yeah, but look though, no.
People don't like hearing that.
No. But the thing is,
y'all incubate our life. The life we provide.
But look how powerful that is, though.
It's a wonderful thing.
I said that the women are really the portals.
You can turn it back to
We're like the portals of the world.
Yeah, y'all
you know what I'm saying? But we do need
seed.
We do need the men because that's the only way
we need each other. But let the internet tell it we all useless.
But then, like what he was saying, we are looked at it in the human species. We're looked at as weak. How can someone who carries life, something that's done all the time, it's a miracle that people take for granted because it's done all the time.
Now? You think that's a valid thing?
I don't think
in
that's...
her words, in 2022, you think that's a valid thing?
In 2022, that what's the valid thing?
I don't think women are viewed as weak now.
I mean...
Historically, yes. I don't think... I could be wrong, but I don't think they are currently.
No, I think we're
I still don't think we're on the same playing field. Society
but I think we're building up to a lot of things. There's a lot of things that we are overcoming now. But I really feel like, women get the slack for a lot of stuff. But then as much as, like you said, even with incubating a baby, you got to understand that specialness of a woman.
Oh, it's wonderful. I can't do it.
No,
and I ain't trying to.
No.
I ain't trying to.
And that's just, I just feel like even with outside of that, as a society, we have to be a little more lenient on the women.
I agree.
I agree.
Do you think we're really that hard on women currently, not historically?
Yes.
Y'all think so?
Because you look at it, man. Yeah. If we really see if we look at the cycle of our women now, and we see a lot, like I see a lot of women.
Wow! Now that you bring that up, absolutely.
Yeah, there's a lot of. Look at the things.
I'm making faces, but I'm open-minded.
Look at the things that women have to go through, and as far as like feelings of I gotta change this, I can't be this. I gotta do this. I gotta have this.
But who's causing those pressures?
You know.
Well, it goes back to self, but nonetheless.
Yes.
Because I think women are harder on women than men are on women. Because even magazines, I mean, not being funny, dudes is not going out their way to get photoshopped and make sure their ass look like this. But nonetheless,
aren't they doing that for our attention?
I don't think so. I think women get fly for other women because they competing with themselves, not to catch a man. But I think women compete with themselves. I'm the bad. I'm not calling women bitches.
Right.
I'm the bad.
That's
bitch.
I'm the
terminology. Bitch. You know what I mean? Whereas dudes ain't really doing that. Dudes is not getting fly for each other. We get fly to catch y'all.
But dudes are acknowledging when the women do change. And you know, if you look at OnlyFans, who you think the woman
it's a different time now. It's really a different time.
Well, it is. But then when you really,
I don't know, because to me, OnlyFans, I do agree with what you're saying, but it boggles my mind only because there's a lot of free websites. So I haven't understood why the OnlyFans is so flourishing.
I think it might be one of those situations they possibly know that individual.
That might be
they may have engagement. Like, I might work with this young lady or this young man or whatever.
It was a girl when I was in the Navy. She was doing adult films, which blew my mind. I had to go look for it.
So you saw it like on TV or your phone or your laptop, and then you got a chance to see her do jumping jacks right next to you. It's like, okay. Oh, word. Okay. 10 more jumping jacks, please.
Yes, please.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the biggest thing, though, when we look at it, and not to go down this rabbit hole, but I think it's all an illusion. Because then we ask ourselves, who really is putting up the statistics for this thing?
I don't know, man, because you can find statistics to prove what you're saying. You can find them to disprove what you're saying.
I don't think
so then it's all just like we begin to go down this rabbit hole.
But you know what?
And we be stuck.
That is true, but then you also get that gratification again. How you said you worked with a young lady. Yeah. When you see them, somebody go by, yo.
Well, I didn't make a scene of it, but it was cool to be like,
yo, even if you see your homegirl, like, girl, you did that.
Yeah, you killed it.
Yeah, you did that. Or then you see the dude like, all right, I see you.
Yeah.
I see you. So it's still, it's the numbers are.
You know, I told him one time, I said, like, how important is your 20,000 followers to what?
They're not important at all if they're not buying people into what it is that you're doing.
No, not even buying into it. If you look at, like, let's just say we got 8 billion people in the world.
Yeah, it's like 7.5, 8 billion. Yeah.
So when we look at this,
right,
and we look at social media and this whole status, this whole this is why they're doing it. You know, I bring it back to that. Like, really, these numbers are nothing compared to that. You know, it's a little percentage, and that's so. Can we really ask ourselves? Are who is really changing that narrative for women?
But you know what? That goes back to that community that you spoke of. Now this person right here has a population of 20,000 people in their community. They got a community right here at this point now. Technically. That they can actually supersede whatever it is that they want to feed this individual. Maybe OnlyFans, maybe photography services, or whatever,
that's true.
Or jumping jacks. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is.
I think some of it is based on your end goal. Like if it's to... Everybody in the room knows I do the podcast for fun. I'm just having a good time. I'm not trying to be the next.
I truly believe that. I truly believe that you're doing this like you have a
talking.
good time. I truly believe it. I believe that.
If I had the goal of we're gonna make $1 million from Nosey and Petty and Friends with Good Intentions, then I may move a little different. I might not. But I just enjoy talking to people. But there are people who have and even if it's not a podcast, whether it's photography or whatever your dream or your end game is, then that 20,000 followers might mean something to you.
Oh, yeah.
But for somebody who is just enjoying themselves, it don't mean nothing. Like I talked to my daughter about it literally in the car. I picked her up from school, I want to say Thursday or Wednesday, one of the two. I picked her up from school, we riding, and she got in trouble at school, not bad, but just in trouble. And I talked to her about something, or me and the missus talked to her about it, and we explained to her that even though she was kidding, the two young ladies she was getting in trouble with, I ain't gonna tell my baby business, but
right.
And I was explaining to her that the young lady might be for real. And we used the example that just like people get this, is it endorphins? Endorphins from getting likes and comments. And I lost my train of thought. But the moral of the story is so for like somebody who gets those rushes and those endorphins from followers and likes and all that
It's
means
relevant.
something.
It's relevant.
Yeah, it's
No,
important.
no,
to
it's
them. That's what I was trying
definitely
to get to. Thank you.
It's definitely relevant.
Yeah.
It's
But
definitely
then
relevant.
the thing is too, like I tell them, because
It's a metric. Believe it or
Yes.
not, it's definitely
It's
a
an
metric.
internal metric and an actual
yeah,
one.
Yeah.
because those followers, if you have a number, if you have 20,000, can get you booked for a show.
Absolutely. You get a walkthrough and you
can
ain't
get a
even
walkthrough
famous.
for a quick 3,500.
Yes.
But like, word,
Dog.
just to come in the club. I was coming anyway.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying? So it is a metric, but I think it all depends on the individual, what it means to them. Don't let it validate you to a degree, because those 20 can go see Kim. Because Kim just wanted to show a full frontal nude, John.
And now
your
she
whole
got all your
outta
20.
here.
Yeah.
Now
they
you don't.
gone,
Now, you
yeah.
shouldn't be contemplating anything like jumping off the top bunk head first. Like, oh, my life's over. It shouldn't
And
be
it's
like
20,000 compared to the 8 billion that you spoke of.
Correct.
So that's nothing.
Yeah. And then I think it depends on too, when you understand, like you say, you're doing it for fun. It's understanding
Yeah.
your purpose. When you know, like, I think our purpose leads us to roles that we don't even know we're about to get to, as we was talking about earlier. And when I look at that, and I say that because I do crochet content on YouTube, and I do that because
What's the YouTube page?
It's the Lady of Crochet, Lady Simone.
Amen.
So, like Shameless
You gotta plug it.
So-
like, comment, share, subscribe.
So the thing is, with that's total fun to me. But I do understand, I don't take for granted, because what's fun to me can be life for someone else.
Right.
And I don't take that for granted. So I understand that purpose. When you understand that purpose, you lead differently. It's all fun. It's gonna always be fun because you know who you are. But there's some people that don't know that. You know, and that's when that 20,000 compared to the 8 billion becomes relevant. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't take that for granted. I don't want anyone thinking like, hey, but that's what that goes back to. I feel like we're all just at different levels in life. We're all and it's okay. It's okay for that 20,000 to affect you in a way.
Absolutely.
I don't want nobody to think like,
No.
my 20 means something. If it
I'm
means
right
something,
there with you.
yeah.
I'm 30. I'm
Run your
37,
race.
and I posted. I don't know your Instagram, but I posted it. I put. And I literally, when I was 120 pounds, so that picture was
I just saw it.
from boot camp
Yeah.
graduation. That was January 5th, 2008. And then I took a picture of me like 2 weeks ago. And I said, I made the joke of if trust the process was a person.
Right.
And I got likes, and I appreciated the fact that people liked it. It was like,
And you know what's crazy?
You know what I mean?
While we're on that topic, I want to say thank y'all for liking the stuff that I post. I want to say I appreciate that. You know, you got people that look, because I could tell when you look, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's right there. But then you get a hard one. I'm like, yo, my man Skillet hard that right there, yo. You know what I'm saying? Yo, my man Sly, I called Sly before or inboxed him or something. Like, yo, I appreciate you for sharing that, man. Because you ain't had to do that.
I look at everybody's story.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I want to see.
I'm sure there may have been someone may have thought it's cooler than me. Like, yo, Mo, I ain't about to share
that's
your
what I'm
joint.
saying. And granted, we didn't grow up. We didn't start with social media.
Right.
Obviously, we have it now, but we didn't. We started with MySpace. What was it, AOL Messenger?
Right.
You know what I mean? So even for us, just being honest, I like a good like from time to time.
Yeah. Just.
Oh, they saw my shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because you may have put some thought in that joint. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I appreciate that. You know what? You're the MVP.
I wasn't suffering in silence, baby. Y'all with me. You know what I mean?
You might even get a $5 cash app for doing that.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
That is hilarious.
I'm just being real.
No, serious. Because we're in the arena.
Yeah.
We're here to
That's
play.
the myth.
You understand what I'm saying?
I think that's the
We're
myth
here
thing
to
right
play,
there.
Slide. Like, you post, you want a reaction. It's social media.
Somebody like it, goddamn.
Right, it's social media. Let's be sociable.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's that Virgo talking right there. That's that Virgo talk. That Virgo
You know
get
what I mean?
like, yeah.
I'm a Sag, so I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, I appreciate that.
I appreciate you.
Yeah. You know how you send the little balloons on your iPhone and all that?
Yeah.
That's what I hear in my head. Like
Absolutely.
when people heart.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a good feeling. So I can't
Absolutely.
even knock their generation either. You know what I mean?
We're here. We're in the arena.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I need a like from time to time.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I like everything now. Yo, I'm gonna make sure I like everything.
And see, coming from somebody like me who don't even really check it. Like, I don't think, like, my main Facebook, I haven't even been on in a while, but I really don't. It's like, I kind of take myself out that space. It's like, listen, I don't got time for this. And not on no, if that's your thing, that's your thing. It's
you just don't take yourself that serious.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't take it's like, well, you gotta have
I'm a country girl that walked on a dirt road. Like, hey,
you gotta have fun, man. You can't
I'm
take
just
yourself
like,
serious.
Yeah, so.
But I mean, I'm sure you like a good like from time to time as well.
I really don't pay attention. Like, but I like to see this guy gets like, yo, you see this? Yeah.
That happened this morning though. That's the crazy part. Like, yo, I'm on social media and someone shouted me out in like a song.
Oh, okay.
Like a song. I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, all right, they listening.
So I get a little, I
guess
tickled
go back to your
that.
point earlier, Sly, right? I guess you just don't understand, bro.
So he shows me that, and I'm sitting there like,
I'm posting it this week too. I done screen record the part when he was like, yo, Mo's up. Gotcha.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, gotcha. Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Absolutely. Because you gotta think, for myself, the only personal social media I have is Instagram. Everything else is related to the podcast.
Okay.
So like that's the only validation I get. You know what I mean? It's on the internet.
Yeah, right. No, it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But I mean, for me, I guess I'm like,
nah,
okay. But I see it because this guy shows it, and
real,
I'm like,
I'm telling you, it's real.
And people will front like that don't mean nothing.
I'm here to play. You know what I'm saying? No, I get 2 points. I need the pom-poms and all that too.
But I guess when you got it too, I think for me too, when we came into the whole Facebook era and all this, it was more so like connecting with family and friends. Because we have family like in New York and stuff like that, and that we don't get to see. So I'm thinking like I'm posting a lot of stuff. They get to see my kids, they get to see this. And then when it went totally from that, I'm like, listen,
Yeah, old people got on there.
But see, that's when you start. That's when you start snoozing people, though.
What's that?
He's
I don't have
big
Facebook.
snoozing.
All right, so this is on Facebook though.
Yeah.
So Facebook, you have the option of snoozing.
It's like muting on Instagram.
I'm not sure if that's on Instagram.
Muting is where you don't see their story, but you don't unfollow them.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the same
snoozing.
thing? Okay.
Yeah. Because you might be carrying on some kind of way. And I love you. You might just be having a rough patch. So I'm going to give you 30 days. You understand what I'm saying? Because my page is like my house. You understand what I'm saying? Right. If I don't want to see that foolishness, I don't need that right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a real happy, positive, bubbly guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to see, I go on social media to get a laugh.
I am.
You know
I'm the same way. I don't take it that serious.
A joke or something inspirational.
Yeah.
I don't want to see McDonald's count your days. Your shit's over with. Like what? You know what I'm saying? But what for? So I'll give you 30 days on my page. Like I'm gonna snooze you for 30.
I don't understand that. When he said it, I'm like, what?
I'm gonna give you 30 because you're human. I'm human. You might be having a bad month, and you just need a vent. All right, cool. But I'm gonna snooze you. I don't want to hear it.
See, I haven't unmuted the people I muted.
But see, snooze give you 30. It'll let you know, like, hey, all right, they're on the 28th day. How you feeling about this?
That's crazy.
And then you go back to review it. Nah, they still on that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And you snooze that joint again. You know what I'm saying, Skillet? Because I love them. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know they had it on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
And I might be getting snoozed because you got people that be like, yo, this dude's just too damn happy.
Yeah.
Like, he's too positive.
I be wanting to say, I'm like, man, I wonder how many people got me muted.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm going to tell you what I told my wife. I was going to post, like, yo, matter of fact, I want to ask you, Sly. I'm going to post this on social media this coming week, right?
Okay.
What goes through your mind when you see Mo come across your phone? I'm curious to know. What goes across your mind when you see Mo calling you?
Let me plug my phone up because this about to be a long conversation.
Or send a text. I am curious to know. Is it like, ain't nobody got no time for all this. I woke up this morning shit. Like, no.
You talking about you go live or you talking about just
No. Just if I call you, like if you're chilling and you see Mo come across your phone, what comes to mind?
I be wanting to know if you want to ride the bike.
I appreciate that.
Dead
or if
ass.
you see a text or something. It's like,
I get excited because I know we about to work on something.
I appreciate.
See what I'm saying? My bike right there on the balcony.
Yeah, I see it. You know what's crazy? There's people that don't like that. Like yo, I work at a spot, right? I ain't gonna tell you where I work. I work at a spot, right? So I was like, yo, Mo, what's going on? I said, hey man, I woke up this morning. Yo, man, Go ahead with all that positive shit, man. Like, you don't ever wake up mad. Like, tell me a mad thought right now. And I'm looking at son like, are we serious right now?
I never woke up mad. I've been pissed off once I woke up, but I never woke up mad.
And I was like, dude, you woke up this morning. Man, Mo, fuck all that, Mo. I'm like, nah, dude.
We could be dead.
Right. I was like, yeah, that's the alternative. You could have woke up dead. You understand what I'm saying?
And then you don't wake up.
My man said like, yo,
that's
Mo,
the name of this episode, Woke Up Dead.
That's the second time. Where we was at, someone else said that? Like, yo, on anything, when it was like, yeah. But my man said, Mo, how you wake up dead?
About Scoop, yeah.
Yeah. He was like, yo, how you wake up dead? I mean, I was like, yo, at some point, you got to gain consciousness to understand you're no longer amongst the living.
Oh, my goodness.
And it was like,
you had to get morbid.
That was kind of, see, that's kind of deep. Like you went a little too far with that one, but I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Y'all crazy. So,
where we go at from there, right?
Hey, Elefando, let me see.
You gotta go through your Dude, this is literally what we do all the time. Like, Sly's been in the room on the phone with us.
Man,
like,
what?
Dude, we just have conversation, man.
I'm gonna give you one more, and then I'll let y'all go. Let me see. Will we as human beings ever stop working?
No, there's always work to do.
Nah, there's always something.
I feel like there's like, in what aspect of work are you talking
I'll set the
about?
stage for you. Okay,
How do you define work?
Yeah, I got you. So, okay, not necessarily creating. And I know creating is a new word in the context that we currently use.
I dislike it, man.
I don't like it either, but I get it.
I don't like content. I don't like creator because it's not the same.
It's not.
But nonetheless.
So, I guess in content, okay, everybody knows I used to be in the military. And I hate to beat a dead horse. But for
Appreciate
example,
your services.
Anytime.
Yeah.
But I didn't join to be no patriot. I joined for college. I didn't join to be a patriot. I joined to get college money.
All right.
So I don't be fronting like, I love America.
But you were still outside though. You
Hell
still
5 years.
Yeah. Nah, we appreciate that.
I don't be know what to say.
I got a cash app for you on Veterans Day.
Hell, God damn it! I'll get the free food. I'm good. It's coming up. But okay, for example, when certain military members, when they serve and they get really high up in the ranks, they do like 35, 40 years. Like when they get out, some of them cats drop dead. Not right. But they'll go home, they be home doing nothing for a couple months and they fall out dead.
Right.
And I've always told myself the analogy, like if I win the lottery, I ain't gonna work no more. But I've thought about it over the years, which I'm not going to win the lottery, but I'm just saying, if I do, I'm gonna still do some form of work. It may not be digging ditches and fixing cars, but I'm gonna do something. So
to answer your question, under those absolutely. Even if we was the lottery right now is like 1.6 billion.
That thing's stupid high.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, so you come home with like 800 because they're gonna probably kill half. You know what I'm saying?
He says 1 point what?
1.6. So
about 7, 8, yeah.
All right, cool.
Give or take.
I'm not working. No, I'm gonna be of service.
Oh,
like
okay,
if
that's
you call, no.
that's
Like if you call me, like, yo, Mo, could you hold a light? Absolutely.
Hold who?
Hold a light. Absolutely. Why you do your next podcast? Absolutely. I'm gonna hold the light. I got you.
We got stands.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Sly hit me up like, yo, Mo, I need you just to run the drop cord for me. I got you.
But
you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be of service.
No.
I'm not
but
clocking in.
I think it's what you define as work because it's still considered to be work.
It's no
way. I don't think that us as humans. I don't think it's no way that we cannot be of work. We cannot because we're constantly expanding.
You need something to stimulate your mind.
You got it. Yeah.
You're constantly as long as there's things like as long as we're here, we're going to expand. We're going to build. Building and everything is here. That thought is you're building. That's how we have so many things around us. So we're constantly going to be in work because we're constantly creating. We're constantly thinking about new things that we want to see in existence.
And you know how that works?
That comes with the work.
Interaction and engagement with people. You know what I'm saying? Because we have ourselves a cleaning service, right? And our cleaning service typically pops off on a weekend. So you figure Monday through Thursday, I was just chilling. And I'm just like, I can't do this. I gotta go outside. I can't do this right here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I went and got a job to be around people, to actually get these different stories to write about, to get these different things that help. Like, you know what? That's the missing piece. that I needed for this puzzle, right?
Yeah.
Appreciate that. You get credit for it too, thank you. But nonetheless,
I put you in the credits.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So no, I definitely feel being of service. And I think it's just terminology and wording.
It's all how you want to position it to say with the wording and all that.
Yeah.
But I feel like, that's just what we are here to do. We're here to experience. In order to experience, you're going to work. It's your perspective on it.
Right.
If you want to call it work, call it work. If you want to call it service, call it service. It's whatever you call it. But at the end of the day, there's still so much. I don't even think we scrape the surface of the things that we can do as humans. Mm-hmm. So when you look at that, look the fun in it is to think like, yo, we can have and do so much more. That's exciting to me. Like so I don't think we'll ever get to the point of, and then look, you got babies. Imagine
I got 3 of them.
The work is not going to look the same, and maybe it's not a good way to say work, but it's not going to look the same. Their experiences are not going to be the same. So it may not be called work in their time. It may be called something else, but I look at it as more so expansion. So
okay, I like that. That's fine.
Yeah, as we're expanding, bitch. God dang. Imagine the things that come out of them. That's
Absolutely.
the dope thing.
Yeah, I will say though, if I hit the lottery or just get financially
The
comfortable,
lottery.
I ain't fist to be working. I might be serving, but I ain't fist to be working.
Yeah,
But see, if somebody else will look at you and be like, listen, what you're doing is work. This right here is all. But I think any form of pouring into any other individual and doing what it is that you're here to, you like your purpose, any form of that, you're working.
You think so?
I think you know what?
absolutely.
I think I might even stop everything that I'm doing just to be of service if I hit the
Get the hell out of here.
I'm being honest, because I genuinely
fun
love
part.
helping
That's-
people.
yeah,
Like
that'd
I
be fun.
genuinely
Yeah, I told you
love
that.
helping people.
So you'll stop being dad. I'm gonna service. You got 2 boys, right?
No, I got 3. We got 2 boys and we got a daughter.
Okay.
Mason, Mason, Malik.
Okay, you about like me. I don't really normally say my kid's name on here, but you know what I'm saying?
I thought you said you didn't know your kid's name. I was like, oh shit.
No, I normally don't say their name.
Yeah, when you said this, I was like, oh shit. Oh, where did we just took a
Say
mean
their
left.
name. No, it's
sorry.
Michaela, Michael, and Madison.
Oh, you got the M's too?
Well, I'm Michael, but they
See,
just,
I'm Mo. See, look like
exactly.
we on this.
We selfish.
See, this is my George Foreman thing, though, right?
Hell no.
That's
Michael 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hell no.
Nah, for me, growing up, I was like, yo, George Foreman kids was like 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's ghetto.
Like, I don't know how many he had, right?
He got a
so
bunch
I'm like,
of
yo,
boys.
I thought it was cool
Hell
because
no.
your name
That's
is
just
continuing.
terrible.
So
Like,
for
there's
me, I
one?
said, whenever I have.
Ain't like he had some unique name. The nigga name was George.
So for me, I said, whenever I have kids, I want to keep my initials are MMM.
I'm MAC.
It makes it okay, pimpin'. All right.
The first 2 got the exact same initial.
All right. So all 3 of ours got my initials.
Okay, cool.
MMM.
MMM. You know what I'm saying? And I signed my name M to the 3rd power.
Okay,
That's my
excuse me,
initials.
sir.
Nah, MMM. Nah, it's M to the 3rd power. So for me, I wanted
cool.
to pass that along to my. I hope they. Matter of fact, when y'all watch this, kids, Malik, Mason, and Madison, 10, 12 years, 15 years from now, I'm on record saying I want y'all to sign your name M to the 3rd power. Right? Just do that for Daddy. I
It's kind of
appreciate.
fly
Thank
though.
you.
See,
Nah,
I'm a junior, so my son is the 3rd.
I wanted to be a junior, man. I wanted to be a junior.
You
I
don't
don't know.
get to pick
I just thought junior was cool. So I wanted to be like, hey,
It's
junior.
overrated.
It just seemed
Yeah.
It's overrated.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's real regular. It's real regular. I'm just saying. I call my.
And let me say this: I'm named after my uncle. My government name is Marin, but my mom will call me Marin. So keep that in mind. So
It's on record
yeah,
to the YouTubes. I didn't let you
but
know.
I'm named after my uncle who's from West Indies. He's from
That's
the West
cool.
Indies, right? And his son is named Marin.
Okay.
So it's 3 of us. So whenever I'm in Cali, my aunt would be like Marin, and he'd be
part
like,
of Cali?
yes, yes, yes. Colton, right on the outskirts of San Bernardino.
Where's it at?
San Bernardino? It's like 45 minutes from LA. On the
Oh, my
outs-
son's
on
an
the
hour and a
outskirts.
half from LA.
Okay, so
North.
that's where Marin comes from, though. Just
Okay,
wanted to
cool.
give my uncle a shout out.
That's what's up. Hey,
That's
salute.
Uncle Marin. That's my man right there.
On that note, well, can I get your socials?
Please.
Yeah, I'm thinking like socials.
Like, yeah, you can't give him a social
Security.
security number, you know what I'm saying?
Need the last
That's
4
that
years
lets you know she's so out of touch with social media, right? Right, Steely? So,
Give him the quick.
so out of
Sir,
touch.
she said, nigga, I just met you today.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you doing taxes?
I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
You want EIN, tax ID, or
I had
social
to give
security?
him this quick little hit, like.
Yeah, yeah, she hit me.
socials,
What's this fool talking about? Your
I'm sorry.
Facebook, ma'am.
Which I I really don't do Facebook like that, but I am on TikTok, and I feel like this dope content is very good. Like whenever you're going through something, you need some like good life to be put in you.
Yeah.
Go to Lady Simone, LadySamoan on TikTok.
Okay.
My Instagram is Lady Simone as well. I don't post a lot on that one, but I have my crochet Instagram is Simone's Everything, and of course, as always, I am your one and your only Lady of Lenses and Lady of Crochet, Lady Simone on YouTube. Yes.
You have to actually
Hit it with the poetry snap.
Explain the lenses.
With lenses, I started my YouTube channel with my glasses. So I
wear glasses as well since second
Really?
grade. Yeah, sometimes I alternate. You know, I try to be handsome at times.
So
It
she
don't
got
always work.
She got like 75 pair of glasses.
No, I have over 100, but
I'm sorry.
I have one pair. And I'm about to
Really?
get a new pair because my insurance just changed from Cigna to Blue Cross or Aetna to Blue Cross. One of the two.
See, I love glasses. I have a favorite that I wear more than normal, but I try to switch it up and I incorporate it. That's what my YouTube started off with, and now I'm trying to just go. Crocheting is my peaceful place.
You mean crocheting like knitting?
Yeah, like
Okay.
yeah. It's like it's not a grandma sport. No
Nah,
more,
we're
in there. We're in there.
I tried to make rugs.
I was about to ask you used to knit?
Hell no.
Yeah, 'cause that's what it sounded like you was going at. Like I used to.
No, when I was a kid, I went to one of the city-sponsored summer camps. I'm not gonna mention them here because I never say where I live. But so I tried to I can't remember the lady name, but the lady, she made rugs, like kind of like what Cats is doing now, like you do a cartoon, but by hand.
Oh, word.
And mine, I'm 37. This was 23, 24 years ago.
Before they got the guns.
Yeah, way before that. So my pop's like, nah, she might be a pervert. And so I couldn't go learn. So
Really?
Wow, I appreciate Pop's protection.
Pop's his ass. So if you listen to Nosey, you'll find out how much I love my dad. Continue. I'm sorry.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that's actually making a lot of money off of those rugs. But
hell yeah, I could be making that money.
See,
is that the one like I got?
Yeah.
Them joints is tough.
Yeah, those are. But yeah, I started off with that, and now I incorporate the crochet with the glasses. But it's just my personality, who I am, what I feel like I'm here to put out to this world. I do it through that channel. I do it through my TikTok. So I just do it. If you see me, you're gonna experience me. That's just it. You know, and I have a unique way of having that, digital property, and that's with YouTube. So
poetry snap.
Absolutely.
Oh, I do spoken word too. So you said.
Hey, you see how it goes to some poetries.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Mary Morrison on Facebook.
Okay.
MERRYN Morrison on Facebook. Mary Morrison on Twitter. You have The Faculty, which is a hip hop based group with me and my brothers, Sean, unofficial board member of hip hop, and Big Kev the Maestro. This is pretty much where I guess you would say it's a media, it's a blog where we actually discuss hip hop. It's really geared around the indie artists, but we also sprinkle mainstream artists in there as well. So please check that out. The Faculty. Instagram is just my 3 cents. JUST_MY_3 cents. The number 3 CENTS _editorials.
That's long as hell.
Yeah, I know, right? Now that I say it
scroll
out
on the
loud.
screen, don't worry.
Yeah, like I said, now I'm thinking about it, I might have to shorten that up. You know what I'm saying? And you can see what it is that we do, because we do a number of things.
Oh, yeah.
A number of things as far as we write and direct and produce movies. We have our own comic book company, Just My 3 Cents Comics. We're in the music business now. Shout out to Rick the Ruler. We're in partnership with Rick the Ruler as well as Legal, Government Records. What else we got?
We're just living life, enjoying life. And
It's true. No, that's what social media is. Check it out.
All right. Thank you. This is Friends with Good Intentions, episode 3. Thank you for listening.